All right, David McKinney here with Cody No Love Garbrandt fighting in the co-main event and the professional co-main event. And it sounds weird to talk about you as a professional fighter. I've known you basically since the beginning of your amateur career. 1-0 pro now. The first time we've seen you in a long time. Just talk a little bit about what kept you out of the cage and how excited you are to get back in there.
I'm really excited to get back in there. This long layoff due with some injuries that happened during training, and my last fight obviously broke my hand in the fight and required surgery. This long layoff is just refocus myself mentally and physically, let me rebuild myself. I'm at a higher weight, feeling really good, so I'm very excited to get back in there. Almost a year layoff. Right,
and I know that you said not only did you have the hand, but you had some other just nagging injuries. How does it feel to I know you took a little bit of time off just from training period, but how did it feel just to be able to get back in there as a stronger fighter? Maybe you didn't necessarily have those nagging injuries because the old adage is if you go into a fight 100%, then you didn't train hard enough. But maybe in this fight you're going to be a little bit closer to 100% than what you have been in the past.
Oh yeah, I felt close as 100% as you can. Like you said, you never go into a fight 100%. There's always something that during training camp that your body, you're human, so it happens. Injuries happen. You can't bypass them at all. So obviously go in there, but it's the closest 100% I'm going to be. I had the best camp I've ever had training. My whole wrestling career, fighting career. This is it. You're going to see the best Cody Garbrandt there is.
And speaking of your training camp, I know a big part of what your training camp was heading into this one was you took a trip out to Sacramento, trained with Team Alpha Male, and Team Alpha Male is kind of it really is the Alpha Male camp for guys, you basically 125 to 155, and that's right where you are. And just first off, tell us a little bit about what the training was like out there, training with guys like Uriah Faber, Lance Palmer, Joe Benavidez, T.J. Dillashaw, Chad Mendez. All guys ranked right around the top 10 in the world in their weight classes.
It was phenomenal. I've always have a high skill level, and being out there with those guys and training and seeing how they do it, really showed me where I'm at and where I'm going to be. My skill level was high. I competed with them guys. It's phenomenal just to see that you've been training so hard and you go out to the best gym in the world and you're right there with them. Right there with them every day. Training as far as sparring, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. You're in there and this grinding. It was an awesome experience. To go out there and just know. It's a confidence booster. Going into a fight that you trained your ass off for. That you're going to be in the best shape that you can be, and so it was just a phenomenal training with all those guys. It helped me out so much. It took me out of their wing. Really super good dudes. Made it fun. Made it really fun to train, get out there three times a day. Bust our ass in those practices wherever it was we were doing, and then we'd kick it out after. We'd go down to Sacramento and just hang out and and just really enjoy the Cali life out there.
And I heard through the grapevine that you actually made a pretty good impression on a lot of those guys, mainly with your hands and anybody who's ever seen you fight. That's really not a surprise, and even more importantly, anybody who's ever seen you train knows that you're a guy who trains at a really high level, 100% pace, and you're really one of the guys that I've seen that I've always thought that highly of, and it's not surprising to me at least that you impressed a lot of top level UFC guys like that.
Yeah, I know. I just went out there and that was my goal, was to go out there and just show that I might be 1-0 and might be a younger fighter, but I'm hungry. I know my skill level. I know that I'm what I can do in this sport. So I figured, going out there, getting a shot, getting on the team, getting with them guys, and being able to get invited back, to be on the team. So it was just phenomenal. It was like something we waited for, just to be a part of something so cool. To be able to come out there and use your training camps, and come and go, and it's just a phenomenal feeling to be able to do that.
And then you come back and you don't get any no layups here in Pittsburgh. You're training with guys like Justin Steve and Mark Cherico and Justin Wilcox and Kama Worthy, and even tough young guys like Jake Schilling and Matt Conahan. Young, hungry guys who maybe want to prove that they can hang with a guy like a Cody Garbrandt who's been there and done that. talk a little about, bringing back, some of what you learned out in California and really just, strengthening your team even more and, just really what it's like, kind of like the dichotomy between teams.
You're right. You come back here and we have a gym full of hungry fighters, just like, Alpha Male. We might not have the name or we might not have the fighters that have the name, but we have the high skill level and, all the fighters here are hungry and wanting to get that next level. So it's a battle like it is out there. And
a lot of guys early in their career, maybe want to fight some easier fights in their pro career, maybe get up to 3-0, 4-0, maybe take the Mark Cherico route. No, I'm just kidding. but you come out, you're fighting another guy, your second fight, your first guy that you fought was 2-1. This guy's 2-1. And doesn't come, he's not like a joke 2-1. He comes from a top camp team bomb squad in New York. Why do you want to fight guys so tough, so early in your career?
I look at it like this. I mean, why would you train? You're going to put your body through, basically hell for, 8 weeks. Why go in there and know that you're going to just totally dismantle a guy, challenge yourself. I've always thought, I got into this sport to challenge myself. I've always been about challenging myself, making myself mentally stronger, physically stronger. I want the tough fights. I want the tough fights to know that, I get more satisfaction out of beating a tough guy up than going out and beating a guy that's 0-3 or, 0-2, 0-1. I want the tough fights. Just it's going to make it easier down the road when I'm, in the UFC and fighting top guys. I've been fighting top guys, so it's not going to be nothing new.
Right. And I know, obviously, this fight's at 145. A lot of people who have seen you fight have known that you've been at 135 a lot. Is this a permanent move for you, or is this something that's just temporary? Maybe just coming back off of the injury and wanting to fight up a little bit higher.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I got in the off season, I was at 175. Really developed a lot of strength. Did a lot of strength when I was out. So I really wasn't out this whole time. I wasn't like sitting on the couch, eating potato chips and drinking soda. I was training my ass off, this whole time. That's what people seem to forget. I was in the weight room every day, running, doing something. What I was when I was hurt, what I couldn't do, I worked on my weaknesses through this time. So, yeah, being at 45, it's not going to be different. It's not going to be different for me. It's the weight cut's still going to be the weight cut. I'm about 15 over still. It's I don't know if it's going to be a permanent move. I'll fight whoever at 145, 135. So. If it's a good fight at 35, I'll cut down. If it's a good fight at 45, I'll cut down. I just want some of the top fighters in the area for right now until I move on to the bigger, get the bigger call.
Right, and obviously, people, if anybody knows kind of what I know, from earlier on in your career, you really have always had that goal of being in the UFC. Do you feel like that's maybe even closer than ever now since you've gone and seen that you can maybe hang with guys like that, guys like Uriah Faber's, Lance Palmer's, all the guys out at Alpha Male?
Yeah, it puts things in perspective for sure. Just shows that, sometimes you think like, man, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I doing this right? You don't know until you really get yourself out there and something like that. Now this is just kind of, just a little step like, all right, hey, man, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get there. It's a grind. It's not going to come overnight. A lot of fighters, I think, they just want it to come overnight. They don't want to work. A lot of people in life that want that. They think they can they want a new car, they want a house, they want this perfect life, but they think it's going to come. They think if they just sit there and think about it and not do nothing, don't act on it, it's going to come. So, you just got to keep what you're doing. Just embrace the grind. It's a grind. This fighting's a grind, just like life is. You just got to take it, seriously and make the right decisions in your life, not only in your life in the fighting, but also in your life to make sure that you're going to get there. So, yeah, definitely, this is I'm on the fast track to get there for sure. I just got to keep training hard, stay injury free, keep mentally and physically in the game, and that's it. I'll be there.
And last but not least, anybody you want to thank? Anything else you want to mention before the fight?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank all the guys at Team Alpha Male. Uriah Faber, Joey Benavidez, Lance Palmer, Chad Mendez, Vinny Murdoch, Andre Feely, all them guys I trained with out there, Danny Castile. I know I'm forgetting some guys. All my guys at Fight Club Pittsburgh, Justin, Mark, Kama, all the guys I've been training with to help me get ready for this fight. I want to thank my family for always supporting me. The Lord for giving me the strength and the courage to go in here and do this. Mick and Melissa, just everyone. My uncle, who's my stand-up coach, who travels over here twice a week. Drives 2 hours. Over 3 hours. Sorry, comes and gets into work, and just everyone that's either was a good influence in my life right now to get me there. It's always supported me throughout this long layoff that I had. Some of the people, I know a lot of the haters are saying, "Oh, I was one and done," and this and that, but they know I'm not. They know that I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the UFC, and it's just one fight at a time. Thank you.
All right, and that was Cody No Love Garbrandt. Check him out in the co-main event at Pinnacle Fighting Championships #5 against Shane Manley.